questions and ask any questions you have about IT JD&EG or Burning Glass or the website we've been working on, etc. So there's no PowerPoints or anything. There's not even really a strict agenda. So we're not expecting it to be very long, or we're not expecting it to be a very drawn-out webinar. We know that it's pretty hectic for you guys, you know, with it being the end of the fiscal year, July 1st coming up soon. So our vision is to hold webinars like this periodically, so you'll be able to voice any questions or concerns as they come up. So if you don't have anything to say in this particular webinar, but something comes up later, some question that you have comes up later, you can voice that concern on a later webinar. Having said that, if you guys have an issue or a question between this webinar and the next open forum one, which we haven't scheduled yet, I don't want you guys to wait until the next webinar to reach out to us. Definitely reach out to us right away. In regard to this open forum format, I also like the idea that you guys will be able to sort of hear how the other workforce locations are going about this grant and what issues or successes they've had so far. Again, it's still relatively early on in the grant, so the issues and successes will sort of compound as we do more and more of these open forum webinars. So this one is meant to be sort of a springboard. We've already had a number of questions sent into us by some of you, so thank you to anyone who sent us in a question. We appreciate your contributions. We'll definitely be going through those. If you guys want to type questions in the chat window, you can do that as well, and we'll also be unmuting you guys so that you can talk freely. If you'd like to stay muted, you'll have to hit the mute button from your end, and if you're using a phone or having difficulty muting yourself, let us know and we can mute you as well. We have a very loose agenda. First, we want to go through the Illinois WorkNet JD&EG site just to show you guys what's on there. We also want to show you the very basics of getting into Burning Glass and how to navigate through Burning Glass's slide deck navigation, real quick and easy stuff. And then after that, we want to open it up to you guys to talk, ask questions, give suggestions, and then we also want to give answers to the questions that we've received so far. And that's it. I'm going to throw it over to Nicole.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Very first thing that we want to do is kind of ask out there, who of you who are participating in this webinar today, does anybody have people enrolled into the Burning Glass Career Explorer site yet? You can raise a hand or you can speak out if you're able to, if you're not on mute. Really, we want to learn from each other here since this is a new tool for all of us. I know that if there's anybody from Tech Services on here yet, they have 49 people. Well, last I heard they had 49 people enrolled into the JD&EG program, so that's great to hear. We also heard from National Able today. It looks like they have exhausted their funds or are getting close to it for the JD&EG, so that's good to hear. But we wanted to see if anybody had any experience yet on the Burning Glass tools. No? Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen here. And I am going to go into the Illinois WorkNet page just to make sure that everybody understands where to find the tools. Down here at the very bottom of your home page for Illinois WorkNet, we have the Information Technology in association with CompTIA. And it brings you to the Demand-Driven IT&EG Partner Guide page. This is the page that Jeff and I have been working on, trying to load it up with tools and information to make your participation with your IT job seekers easier. So information that we've put on here has been built through experience that we've had working with IT people. Of course, we're trying to load it up with the tools that we get from being here at CompTIA. And then, of course, our partner with Burning Glass, all of that information is located here as well. So to get into different areas, you just go to the Guidance by Category section here. We have assessment tools that we've loaded in here. We've done some research on technical aptitude assessments. We've got some information on client assessments and things that we've learned with our experience working with customers. And then also information on employability. The sections that you can't click on yet are ones that still are to be loaded with information. The LinkedIn for IT Professional is going to be the next webinar that we host. So once that webinar is hosted, all of that information will be loaded into this link here, and you'll be able to then click on it and utilize hopefully that information as well. We also have in client and employer outreach and grant administration here at the bottom. These two sections are where we put our marketing materials or any information on labor market data that you might need. Again, there's sections that are still going to be filled and are being updated all the time. Does anybody have any questions on information that's in the JD&EG page? No? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move on. And remember, at any time, if there's any information or any question that you want to ask, you can either type it into the chat box, which Jeff is going to be monitoring, or you can go ahead and just speak out loud. That's what we're really trying to do here today. So we're going to go into the Burning Glass section. So all you have to do is click on Burning Glass. It will load you into the Burning Glass page. This one we have tried to load everything that we could think of, being that we haven't actually used the tool ourselves because we don't have any customers to put into it. This is everything that we could think of as far as what we saw being in need of having a location so that you can get quick access to the information. On the right-hand side, there's a variety of PDFs that you can download. This covers data that we've received, a user manual, a quick start guide. So if you have any information or any questions on starting people in this tool, or if you have any questions on how to make it work best for you when you're working with your customer, you might be able to find an answer here in materials. And as Jeff mentioned earlier in his opening, any questions that we can answer for you, please just let us know. You can email us at any time. To get into a couple of different areas, when you are working with your customers and maybe they're not sure how their previous skills transition into IT, or maybe they're not sure what opportunities are available out there, you can click on the Opportunities in Chicago's IT Landscape link here, and it will bring you into the Burning Glass slide deck. This is a very comprehensive slide deck that was put together by Burning Glass based on information from 2014 on IT positions that were posted and taken, or opportunities that were offered and taken here in Chicagoland for IT. This is an interactive tool. So if you scroll down on the tool here, you will see that you can actually click on links within this tool to get further information, and what it will do is kind of jump you through the report. There is an appendix to this report above. Sorry about that, I clicked the button too fast. There is iconography that you can follow, and this will move you through the tool a little bit easier. If you actually look through the tool slide by slide, it may not make sense. The reason being is that it's built for you to use these icons in order to maneuver through the tool to look for the answers that you are going for. So each one of these icons are clickable, and it will move you through the tool to get to either the table of contents or where you need to be. They set this up low barrier, moderate barrier experienced IT professionals so that you can go through and kind of seek what pathway would be best for the person that you're working with at that point in time. Does anybody have any questions, or does anybody have any experience with using this tool yet? Has it helped anybody in any way? We really recommend using this tool, especially if you're new to learning IT. One of the biggest barriers that Jeff and I faced when we started working as career counselors was learning the IT lingo and understanding when someone came in and sat with us what they really did before and how they can be helped to find that future position. This could be a really useful tool for anyone. This is youth, adults, low income, dislocated worker, anyone can use this tool to kind of walk through and figure out what the best pathway is. It starts at that entry level, maybe a customer service type position if they need very basic experience, and it walks you all the way through, you know, network engineers and higher up management positions and everything, of course, in between. So make sure that you explore that. Any questions that you have maneuvering through it or on information that's in there, please let us know. We're going to go back here really quickly to the JDNEG page. Of course, Jeff and my contact information is strewn about these pages many times because, again, our biggest focus is contact for you guys. If there's anything that we can provide, we want to be able to do that. One of the questions that we received was, how do you get a job seeker started in Career Explorer? And this is kind of our breakdown on how to get people started. As we mentioned, if you attended our one-on-one training that we had back in May, or actually in April 20th, at U of I Biz, we let everybody know that they're able to enroll 40 job seekers into the system to start. We actually have room for 1,000, but we thought if we started at 40, it wouldn't overwhelm people. So 40 people is your starting amount, and if you do need more people or more room to enroll people, you can definitely let us know and we'll be able to open that up for you. The goal of the Career Focus or Career Explorer tool for your job seeker is really to give them one place where they can put all of their information in and get help with seeking positions, get help with building a resume, get help with understanding keywords and how they fit into positions. And they use some great technology to pull positions and rate them based on what their experience level is. The most important thing to get this tool to work effectively is for you to have your customer put a resume, at least one, into the system. What it does is it takes the information from that resume and that's how it finds those jobs. So a job seeker could come in and use the Career Explorer tool to just do a job search and find what's out there, just as they would use Monster or Indeed or any other job search site. But what this is going to do is actually kind of do the work for them. So it will help them build that resume. It will use in-demand data to help build that resume, which we think is a huge bonus for this tool. And then from that information that they put into the resume, it will actually pull a number of positions that can help your job seeker locate a good position for them based at whatever their experience level is. It also helps with people who are transitioning out of military careers and going into the work field with military experience. It's got some great military tools that can help transition that previous experience, military experience, into current out of military experience. So, make sure that your customer's name matches the name used in iWIDS. The reason we put this in bold is because one of the things that our tool is going to start doing here, hopefully within the next week, is actually taking information from the Burning Glass tools and putting it into iWIDS as a case note for you. So what it'll do is any activity that's recorded in the Burning Glass system will actually turn around and end up as a case note with a timestamp and a date stamp so that you can see what your customer is doing within the Burning Glass tool. We've really pushed this to be an important part of this tool because we understand how hard it is to be working in a variety of different tools and have everything be in iWIDS, which is required. We didn't want people to have to copy and paste and have to do double typing for all of the stuff that's going on in Burning Glass. So we made sure that we are getting this information sent over. This is supposed to happen, I think, tomorrow, but if it doesn't, it should be within the next week. Even if it doesn't happen right away, anything that's going on in your customer's portal is going to be transferred over as soon as that live tool is activated. So anything that I know Omar has a few people in the iWIDS system. I know DeMar Harris from Lake County has some people in the iWIDS system already, or in the Burning Glass system. The information that's coming through their Burning Glass portal will get transferred over. It'll get backdated and transfer over, so you don't have to do any double duty. I do recommend that you actually take a look at those case notes, though, and let us know how you think about, or what you think about how they're built. It took a lot of work for the Illinois workNet team to get this to work together. So they've done, I think, a great job in designing the case note and what it's going to say and the information that it's going to give. But we need feedback from you guys to find out if this is giving you accurate information, if it's time stamping it correctly, if it's in the place that you want it to be. And the number one thing is if there's information that's being put into Burning Glass that's not being transitioned into iWids, we need to know that. Because we tried to select every section that we thought would be most important to transition as a case note. If we miss something, we want to know because we want to see if we can then capture that and get it to move over as well. Any other points on that, Jeff, that you can think of?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay, very good. So within here, you can go right into the iWids, or I'm sorry, you can go right into the Burning Glass link right here on the live website link. It's purple for me because I've clicked on it many times. When you guys log in, it shouldn't be purple for you. But if you go ahead and click on it, your choice here, you have two choices. Everybody who is working with us, each location should have gotten a username and password for their location. Unfortunately, we only have 25 usernames and passwords that we could pass out to everybody, so each location is going to have to share their access in Burning Glass. The case managers, business services representatives, customer service people who are helping the job seekers, you're going to log in through Career Assist. When you tell your customer to go ahead and use the tool, they're going to log in through Career Explorer. So for us, what we would do is recommend that they log in through Career Explorer. They can go on to the Illinois workNet website link and log in just like we did to here. They're going to click on Career Explorer. And as soon as it pops up, they're going to go ahead and start by registering for an account. All they have to do is click on Register for an Account and fill out this information. One of the most important questions that we've actually received in preparing for this webinar was an issue with security of this website. We've gone back to Burning Glass and we've talked to them about it, and what they're actually doing is they're going to be transitioning this website into an HTTPS. Is that right? HTTPS site. So it will be fully secure. That transition is going to happen Friday evening over the weekend because it takes 48 hours. So come Monday morning when you come back in, all of the website will be listed as HTTPS from now on. So everything will be 100% secure. They did assure us that the information is secure right now, but we wanted it to be visible to the people who are entering their information. So they are going to transition that that first part of the website into the HTTPS so we can see, everyone can see that it's secure. This is asking for basic information. This information is going to be used in a number of ways. Obviously, email address so that you can relate them between iWids and the Burning Glass system. Also, the Social Security number is going to be used for that. They have security questions and security answers because we don't want anybody going into their system and changing anything around. We want it to be secure for them. So if they enter this information and register for an account, what will happen is Jeff and I will receive an email. That email will give them their username and password. We will then send that email, forward that along to them so they can go ahead and log into their account. Once they log into the account, we will see that a new account has been created, and we will actually be assigning you guys as case managers to that person. So we're going to go into iWids, we're going to see who's working with them, and we will assign them with the case manager who is at that location. So I'll use LWIA 6 for example. The two people who have access are Brian and Omar. Anybody else who registers a customer in this tool, either Brian or Omar will be who they're assigned under, but of course all of the information can be entered by anybody who uses the login information. So they would just have to use Brian or Omar's login information, and they would be able to go into the account and monitor them as if they were Brian or Omar. Does that make sense? Okay. Does anybody have any questions up to this point? There is an option, if your customer is kind of unsure if they want to get registered for this, there is an option for them to explore what Burning Glass can do for them without registering if they click here on this Explore Options Without Registering. So if they're kind of unsure if this is going to be worthwhile for them, have them look through the tool. There is a ton of information on this tool. There's obviously the job search. There's the resume information that we've talked about before. It's got the best resume tool to put a resume together. But there's also research options that they can use with the Explore button here. And they can find out what field would be best for them, what kind of job opportunities there are, what kind of salary or wage information would be associated with that position. So they can definitely do an Explore option without registering. The other thing that we had a question on was if you have a job seeker that you registered and you only have 40 spots, say that job seeker decides that they don't want to use the tool anymore. Hopefully they got a position and they don't need it anymore. You can actually let Jeff or I know, and we can deactivate this account, and therefore it doesn't count against your 40 or our 1,000 total. So if that happens, just let us know. Say that person comes back in a few weeks, a month, they don't have to redo their information. We can go ahead and reactivate their account, and it will be as it was when we stopped it. So they'll just have to update, of course, their resume and job information, but that would be it. They wouldn't have to redo a whole account. So hopefully that makes it a little bit easier for you guys to go ahead and walk through this. We're going to go ahead and get out of this. Go back here. Maybe. For us who are actually monitoring the people who are in this, we're going to go ahead and click in Assist. And there's some really cool things that you can do within Assist if it goes. Maybe. There we go. So if you sign in, if you go ahead and sign into your Assist account, one of the things that you have to do each time is note what office you're at. I've asked them about this to see if we can get it taken away, but basically what they've told us so far is that they're looking into it. But all you have to do is designate which center you're going from. So I always pick DuPage. Here you can see all of the people who are located in this tool. One of the reasons they leave it open like this is because there's opportunities in other counties that border your counties. And so if you're looking for someone, for a position for someone, and you see that there's someone in this system that might be close to you, say you're a business services person and you're trying to fill a position, you can also use this tool to talk to your associated counties and try and see if you can get them into a job through this tool. So that's one of the kind of the cool things for the business services teams. If your person is this person, we'll say Liz Buchanan, she'll be our example for today. There's a couple things that you can do within this site to see how she's doing. Right away from the get-go, we can see what her location is and when she was in last. So to me, this triggers that she hasn't been in a long time, so I need to actively reach out to her to see if she's even wanting to use this tool, or maybe she got a job, and try and see what's going on. It says requiring follow-up here. The reason being is because this account was marked that something needed to happen. Whether it be that they need to check in, they need to post a resume, some action needs to be taken on their account, and it's a way for them to be triggered. So what will happen is when Liz opens her account, she'll get a message saying that she needs to follow up on some activity that her case manager assigned to her. You can do a couple things. You can click right on her name. When you click on her name, you get her contact information right away, and you can see how she's doing within the tool. If you expand each one of these options here, you can see how things are going. This is going to be a pretty bad example because Liz is actually the program manager for this application, so she doesn't have much in. But you can see what she's done, any activity, how long it's been since she's been in the tool. Anything that's in this activity summary, resume, job seeker activity log, and then notes and reminders. All of this information is what's going to be ported over to the iWood system on a nightly basis. So any activity that happens within this person's account will be transitioned over into iWoods each night as they do a pull from their system. You can clearly see that she hasn't been on in a long time. It's been 33 days. She has no job matches because she does not have a resume in the system, so the resume tool can't match any jobs to her. You can see that she has actually performed 3 job searches, though, meaning that she did go in the tool and actually look and see, look into a couple jobs. Maybe she found her perfect job and get hired right away, and that's why she's not on here anymore. So it's worth reaching out to her and finding out what's going on. If you go back to the job seeker dashboard, other things that you can do within her account, if you check mark her, you can pull down this drop-down box and you can do any of these activities with her. You can email her directly. You can look for jobs for her based on her resume. You can assign an activity to her. So if we choose assign an activity, what will happen is it'll drop a box down and we can say we want to do an assessment with her, we need to do case management with her, we need to do a referral with her. So any of that activities that you see fit, you can assign to her, and then it'll tell you what to do. Another thing that you can do is add a note or a reminder for her, so when she opens up her account, she can take a look at whatever it is that you're trying to tell her. One of the reasons why I really like this tool, in addition to iWoods, is that iWoods doesn't give you that option. It doesn't give you that communication option. Everything's done through email, and then you copy and paste it into the iWoods account. With this one, you can do it all through the tool. So you can see that she's checked her notes. You can give her a quick reminder through the tool. You can add her to certain lists and things like that. So there's a lot of interaction that can happen within this tool.
Probably, yeah.
You can also access her account directly, meaning that you can go in and see what she's actually doing and what she's been looking at. Again, Liz is kind of a hard case as an example because she hasn't done very much, but you can go in with her as she's sitting down with you and you can take a look at what she's been viewing and how she's doing and kind of work through the tool with her here. Do you have anything else to add to that, Jeff? No? Okay.
Oh my God, I was in the radio and then
what we're going to do really quick is go back.
And then it like paused.
We're going to show another person here who has a better report activity. So you can see that Greg has, he's got information in here. He's got a resume uploaded, one resume that he uploaded on June 5th. You can see it's got 1,066 words. It's got 41 skill-coded words on the resume, so that's really good.
Like takes the skills from your resume.
And then there's an activity summary here that you can see exactly how long it's been since he's been in. So for him, he's been pretty active 13 days ago. He has 347 matches to his resume right now, so that is awesome. A 3- to 5-star match is what we're looking for. That means that he's pretty well qualified for these positions. You can see himself, he's searched through 4 of the jobs that he's been matched to. In the job seeker activity log, it shows how many times he's been in, how many times he's updated his resume. Again, all this information will be transitioned over and as a case note. And then any notes and reminder. So if you wanted to send him a quick note and say, hey, I found a job, check this out here, you can do that really quick, or you can do you know, a reminder, don't forget to wear your best suit to your interview tomorrow, good luck, something like that. You can type something in there. It's pretty cool. And then you can see what offices they're assigned to. This, again, is going to kind of hit on the business services team, I think. If they are looking for who this person's working with, because maybe they see based on their resume that they could be a really good fit for a position that might be open, you can see that this person's working with DuPage County and Tech Services. So say Lake County has a really good position and this person might be willing to travel. They can contact whoever their case manager is at Tech Services or at DuPage County and then see if they would be interested in taking a look at that position. So we're really seeing this as being a very cross-functional tool that everybody can use. Does anybody have any questions? I know
One
Jeff.
thing, I just got a question about whether the case notes go from Burning Glass to iWoods and vice versa, or which direction it goes in. And it's actually, it just goes from Burning Glass to IWDS. So if you have a client enrolled in Burning Glass and IWDS, if you write the case note in IWDS, it's not going to transfer over to Burning Glass, but it will do the opposite of that. If you have them both enrolled in Burning Glass and IWDS, and you write the note, reminder, or case note, or whatever it is in Burning Glass, it will be ported over into IWDS. The only asterisk there is that this isn't, and Nicole mentioned this before, it's just not in place quite yet. We're hoping to get that as soon as humanly possible.
And one of the biggest reasons why we chose to do it that way is because there really wasn't a section in Burning Glass to take IWID's case notes. It was really hard to designate which of the case notes in IWIDS you wanted to actually transition over and then develop an API that was going to actually pull those singular case notes and move it over. You would have gotten everything that you had put in IWIDS over into Burning Glass, and we didn't want to do that because it would have overwhelmed their system and then bogged it down, and it wouldn't have been as useful as the back way that we're doing it right now. And again, we're really looking to you guys to see how you like the transition of the case notes, if you think it's useful, if you think it's garbage, you know, however, because this is all, again, the pilot process. We're trying to make this as easy and user-friendly as we can for you, and if what we've implemented really doesn't work, we want to know that because we don't want to focus any more time on it. We want to move on to the next thing that's going to be useful for you. Let me run through some other questions here. Let's see. Yes. Oh, does Burning Glass have direct contact with employers in order to provide detailed access to open positions? This is kind of a hard one. Burning Glass actually does have direct contact with employers. The only thing is that we didn't pay into that part of the tool. And the reason being is we weren't really sure how this was going to work. It is something that is open for an option in the future if they decide to go with this. So I just want to explain a little bit on what that would do. Basically what happens with the tool that we have actively going right now is that it spiders job information. And basically what that means, and I'm going to give it to you in Burning Glass's terms, which is a little wordy, NOVA is what they use, and it's a job aggregate, and it looks at jobs daily from more than 38,000 sources, including job boards, corporate job portals, newspapers, and public agencies, and it continuously schedules this robot technology to collect the data. They're identifying and evaluating sources to ensure their suitability and applicability for the public workforce market. They're also removing job sources with NOVA if it continues to be lower than the standard that they're looking for workforce agencies. So this NOVA tool is actually going in and aggregating these jobs and doing all of the work and pulling it all in for you. So kind of like Indeed does, but at a huger scope. The database consists of nearly 200 million current job listings, making it the largest job aggregator in the industry. They extract and normalize more than 70 data elements, including job function, employer, industry, location, educational requirements, required experience and skills, also that it can be put into this and broken down for you to meet their matching system. And I want to explain a little bit about the matching system. So what happens is it goes in and it looks at this person's resume, and from this resume, it's going to pull all of these job leads, and it's going to match them for you on a 5-star scale. A 5-star obviously being the best, 1-star being not good. I don't think we're even showing anything below 3 stars. So 3, 4, and 5-star matches is what we've selected to show our job seekers. When I first heard this, I kind of thought of the old IDES job tool, and I remember a lot of people coming up to me back in the day saying, you know, I've put all my information in there and it doesn't even give me one job. I'm so discouraged. This is a little different from that. That one was so keyword heavy that if you didn't change things and make adjustments, it never would pull a job and send it to you as a match. This one looks at so many different factors, experience, related experience, keywords, education, current location, everything that's in here is going to pull information. So I haven't seen anybody yet not have any matches. The only time I've seen them not have any matches is when they didn't actually have a resume in the system. Once they put that resume in there, I've seen 300, 400, 500 matches for people. So putting that resume in is really key. What it does for the matching system is it uses a lens search. It says it's developed a patented technology for resume and job search data extraction using artificial intelligence known as SNLP, Statistical Natural Language Processing. It parsed tens of millions of resumes. It learns from the way each one is written and structured, and then it understands how different careers correlate and place across those actual careers. And then it says it can predict which job seekers will be a best match to a given job, provide the job seekers with automated job leads, and identify specific training needed to make them more competitive for the positions that are in demand. So it's one of the advantages to using this tool over something like Monster or Career Builder, because it is so interactive and it's looking in so many different places. One of the things that was brought to our attention was the resume tool and how great we think it is. And it's really been, I don't even know the word. I can't even think of the word. It's great. I think Jeff can probably explain it better here.
I don't know. To me, I think everybody on this call has probably created, a million different resumes on a million different resume creators that are out there. I certainly have. And to me, this resume builder is the best one that I've seen. The way that I explain it is that it takes the pain out of creating a resume. It makes it as easy as possible. It creates sentences for you based on your experience and your background. You kind of go through and you say, even if you're an entry-level person in IT, you go through and you say, okay, I used a cash register before when I worked at Starbucks, or I did this before when I worked at this job. And it formulates your resume based on all of your experience to say that you have all these transferable skills from those previous positions. So it makes it really, really simple, particularly for your clients who have a difficult time writing resumes. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who would rather be doing anything than writing a resume, right? And this tool really helps those types of people, I think, a lot.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think one of the hardest things when working with people one-on-one is those people who just can't get the words out. They can't figure out what to write, and they're afraid that it doesn't sound right. And the nice thing is that this puts the words right in for you. The other thing that I like about it is if you don't like the way that it's written, you can change it. It's not something that has to stay that way. So instead of seeing that job seeker sitting down at that computer and racking their brain trying to figure out how to explain what they did in their last job, and kind of, you can see them just getting down on themselves. All they do is answer a series of simple questions within this tool, and the questions formulate what happens in the resume and how it's written. And it's just amazing to see how it compiles together, and I highly suggest you go in the tool and you use it for yourself to see how it is. It'll help you step your clients through the process, and it'll just give you a really good idea of how great the tool actually is.
Yeah, and if you don't have time to jump in there and do that, there should be one person from your office who went to our training in April, on April 20th, and created a resume in the system then, and you can talk to them about it and see how they liked it. I mean, people at that training tended to like it, the resume builder a lot. The only other thing that I want to say about the resume builder in Burning Glass is that it creates an applicant tracking system friendly resume, which is something that surprisingly a lot of other resume builders don't do online. I've had clients come in who built their resumes on certain sites, and I'm looking at the resume thinking there's no way this is going to get past phase 1 of entering your resume into any of the applicant tracking systems that are online. And this one creates an applicant tracking friendly resume. So that's a big deal to me.
That's definitely a bonus of the tool. Applicant tracking systems are rough to get through. So what I want to do again really quick is just take a look. Let's see who's on here right now. I can't do that. We want to ask just one more time in case anybody's jumped on late. Is there anybody who's on the webinar right now who currently has people active in the Burning Glass tools? And if so, would you be able to share any concerns that maybe your customers have had or concerns that you've had walking somebody through the application process to get into the tool? No?
Sounded like somebody wanted to say something there for a second.
Hello?
Oh, there you go. Hi, Omar.
Oh, hi. Well, I don't know if you could hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I've been using this, you know, helping people create resumes. I was playing a lot on with the beta site, you know, just with other people in other areas too, you know, just to get more familiar with it. And it has been very helpful, like you were saying.
Yeah, and that's important to share with everybody. The beta site is still available to use. So if you kind of want to mess around in the tool, or if Omar or whoever has your login wants to share the tool with people and allow them to kind of move around, do it in the beta site. You can add as many people as you want in that site. You can create profiles. You can upload resumes or create resumes. That beta site is perfect for that, and it's the one that starts with Stage. And we can send it out to everybody if you want it. So that's great. So sorry, Omar, keep going.
Yeah, you know, it's mainly one person, but I think it's happening with a few of the others, is that they're not getting enough job leads as they are accustomed to getting from, like, Indeed. And so that turns them off, and, like, you know, we have coached them on tweaking their resumes, and you know, and they're eventually getting more results, but they're still not getting as much. So I feel like that's going to turn off some people, at least in the beginning, if they just see only 3 jobs matching instead of like 100.
Yeah, and that's a legitimate concern. That's something that in the training. Actually, I don't remember if it was in the training or not, but definitely Gail's team at Burning Glass had mentioned this before, and that a lot of those results from something like Indeed or Monster, I mean, you get like 300 results when you type something in, but of those 300, most of them aren't the right thing that the clients are looking for. So yeah, it gives you those 300 results, but you have to kind of swim through this mess of 298 ones that don't fit what you're actually looking for. And the matching tools, the way that it matches through Burning Glass is, I guess, a lot sharper of a matching tool than the ones on Indeed, which makes it seem like it's pulling a lot less jobs for those clients. But in reality, it's just pulling jobs that match the client's resume a lot better. But that is a legitimate concern, and that's something that I think in the future, if that's still happening where clients aren't getting a lot of job leads coming in when they search for them, we might open it up to be, instead of 3 stars and higher, maybe 2 stars and higher, because maybe some of those 2-star positions really are matching what the clients are looking for, and we're discounting them from the equation right now.
One of the things that when I was talking to Burning Glass and got a response from them about how to kind of explain the benefits of this tool, one of the things that they said is they talked about how job seekers wear many hats. And one of the things that they've created within the resume tool is the ability to put those extra hats in the resume. So it says here, job seekers do wear many hats in some positions, and the skills they develop to manage their routine responsibilities may not be reflected in a title-specific description or questionnaire. For instance, an executive assistant questionnaire will not include descriptions for corporate event planning or booking and managing travel arrangements for a department or an entire company. Allowing the job seekers to find these responsibilities and other job titles to append to the executive assistant description ensures the critical skills are not missed in their resumes. So one of the nice things that the resume tool does is once you put your information in there, it asks if you've done other things, and you can choose, it may not have been your job title or their job title, but you can choose additional skills that you did within your position, and those will help broaden those job leads that come back to your person. And you also have to remember too, that these job leads are all IT focused. So again, as Jeff mentioned, if you're going on to Career Builder or Monster or Indeed and you put something in there, you might get back positions that are sales or something else, because that's what Career Builder always did to me, was send me sales positions when I was looking for human services. So keep that in mind, that these job leads that are coming back are going to be very much more targeted. So broadening their experience and their hats through the resume tool may help open that amount up that they're going to be receiving back.
And having said all that, I still think the job seekers that you're talking about, Omar, are making a good point. And if they continue to have that issue over the next week or 2 weeks or something like that, let us know and we'll bring it back to Burning Glass to see if maybe there needs to be a change in the production table that that can produce more job leads for the clients.
Anybody else out there have any experience or want to share anything that their people have been sharing with them or that you've experienced in the tool? Sorry, I'm just taking notes here too. One of the other things, and I know Jeff kind of touched on this, based on what you're seeing between the Burning Glass tool and the Illinois WorkNet website, is there anything different that you would like to see, or is there something that's missing? If you can let us know if the tools or the websites are easy to navigate, or if you're struggling in an area, we wanted to know about that, because we want to, again, make it as user-friendly as possible.
I have a question about the resume builder. Sorry, are you hearing me?
Yeah, we got you. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know. So with the resume builder, it seems to me, I don't know, maybe there's a workaround, but you could either upload a resume and then just edit that resume, or create one from scratch. Is there a way that if they have a pretty decent resume that it could be uploaded and still find, I guess, skill phrases that may be pulled from Burning Glass just to be added in there?
Right, to enhance the resume. That's definitely a good idea. We'll have to get back to Gail and find out from her what the capability is with doing that, or if maybe that's already in play. We just haven't been able to work through it yet. But that's a really good idea, to be able to kind of maximize something that's already pretty good. That would be really helpful, I think, for people.
Yeah, sometimes they do have pretty, I mean, when you look at them, they seem pretty good, but they're still like not getting enough matches. So, I mean, you want to tell them to add more detail, but again, I wish the software would tell them what exactly to add and how, and we don't want to just tell them start from scratch. And
right. And really right now, I think the best, unfortunately, it would be starting from scratch, but doing a one versus the other. If you can get someone who'd be willing to take the resume that they uploaded and see that they're not getting many, and then use the resume builder and do one that way and see if that increases. I wonder if it's something with the applicant tracking systems and not really the way that they've built their resume or the information that's in it, but maybe the applicant tracking system is knocking them out somehow. It'd be, if someone would be willing to kind of do that experiment and see, that would be interesting to find out. But we'll definitely get in touch with Gail and see if there's something that we can do to kind of make it at least be able to be more editable if you just upload a resume. For sure. There's something else I was going to mention too that slipped out of my mind. I don't remember.
Well, you know, like I said at the beginning, we're planning on having these kind of open forum back and forth things. We haven't decided on a time frame for how often we're going to do them, but we want to do them fairly often to give you guys a chance to listen to what the other workforce participants are doing in the JD/NEG grant, to see what's working, what's not working, to voice your concerns, voice your questions, voice your suggestions, and all that stuff. So I don't know, we're thinking maybe once every 2 months or something like that, we might have a webinar like this. Some of them might go long, some of them might be very short, just depending on what you guys have to say.
One of the other things, well actually two other things that we wanted to mention, we are actually going to start site visits. So we're going to be coming out to you guys and trying to schedule a time to maybe sit down with you, talk about who you have in the system, how things are going. If you don't have anybody in the system, this could be time where we can sit down and walk you through the process of enrolling somebody into the system, or even moving you through the assist side of things so that you can see how your side can be beneficial to your job seeker. So this is time where we really want to meet with you one-on-one, see how things are going, troubleshoot any issues, and really build that relationship that we have with you to make sure that this is working out the best that it can for you. If anybody is interested in doing that right away, our plan was to start with people who have job seekers already enrolled in the system. So we're going to probably start with them, but if anybody wants assistance right away and wants to schedule that right away, just reach out to us and let us know, and we can get that scheduled as soon as possible. We're pretty open for visit times, so we can come out, based on your schedule, or we'll get that all set up. The other thing that I wanted to mention too was that I know Jeff mentioned in the beginning we're going to be hosting another webinar coming up soon. This one is going to be LinkedIn for the IT job seeker. Jeff's going to take the reins on this one because he's a guru at LinkedIn, we'll say. More so than I am, but what we're going to do is just kind of explain updates to LinkedIn, how to make it be the maximum benefit for your IT job seeker, and we are going to be doing that, hosting that on June 30th, so the email about that will be sent out later this week. So we'll have a registration on there so that you guys can register and let us know if you're interested in attending, and we will go from there.
And then if you guys have any questions or topics or anything that you want me to cover on the LinkedIn webinar, you can shoot either one of us an email or give us a call and let me know, and I'll make sure to put it into that presentation.
So at this point, if no one has any other questions, I think that's pretty much all that we were going to cover today. We are really looking forward to getting more people in the system. From my shared screen, we had 5 people in there right now, so we are really interested in getting this to be bigger. We have room for 1,000, so people enroll. Again, this is geared towards anybody who is seeking an IT position. They don't necessarily have to be enrolled in JD&EG. They can be enrolled in your Formula 1A, 1D, or youth funding. Ultimately, what we want to see is how this tool might have assisted them in securing an IT-related position, whether that be their first job in customer service, or IT field work, or someone as high as a network engineer, or coder, or whatever the case may be. So we really are interested in seeing how this works for people. So I think at that, if we don't have any other questions, we are going to stay on here for a minute or two just to see if anybody chimes in. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you guys or talking to you again on the webinar and then in the one-on-one visits. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks.